Hiya Nick, good session of the day. Hope you found it helpful. Just a couple of points to run through now from the session. Firstly, address, want to make sure we get a slightly wider stance. If the feet do get a little bit too narrow, it's just going to restrict your ability to rotate. You'll often get a bit slidey from that point of view, and because you're not going to have the stability in the lower half, rotating's not going to be as easy, therefore that club will have that extra tendency to flip over. The other thing as well to try and eliminate that hook is just to get a little bit more wrist hinge. If we look here on the left, we can see that left arm and the wrist hinge not quite sort of creating that sort of full hinge on the way back, and that's just going to give us a slight tendency that the club is now going to over release through the impact area. So if we can just try and get a little bit more wrist hinge, it's just going to give us a slightly better chance of keeping that club face square to target. We can see now that club's gone back a little bit more towards the 90-degree wrist hinge. And all these things we're trying to do now is just to keep the club face square throughout the swing. If we're a little bit narrow and a little bit sort of one piece, three-quarter swing as that club comes back to the hitting area, because the body can't rotate as quick and the wrists haven't hinged as much, the club's going to be coming back slightly closing, and we're going to get that shot that's going to be hooking off to the left, just sort of starting 5-10 yards left of target and just drifting further and further left with a sort of mid to short iron, but with the longer irons and the longer club, that's going to be hooking way left, getting quite destructive. So if we can get a slightly more hinge of the wrist on the way back from a wider base, we can just get the sensation that we're just holding that club face back a little bit longer, let that body clear out the way, as we can see now. So at the point of contact now, we can see that the chest is actually aiming left of the golf ball. The hips now have actually sort of rotated around out of the way, and we can rotate through up onto that left side with a nice full rotation of both lower half and top half. So all those things there designed to sort of keep the club face a little bit more open in the downswing, more open in the backswing, just to keep that club face from sort of flipping and that ball going left on you. So hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously feel free to give me a shout, and I'll see you soon.